It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Welcome to Confidence in Bloom, where bold women rise, shine, and own their power. We all face that pesky inner critic, what I call the itty-bitty shitty committee, whispering self-sabotaging doubts and untrue trash talk that holds us back. Here, we don't let that noise win. This is a space to celebrate the fierce, fabulous women who have broken free from fear, crushed limiting beliefs, and stepped into their full, unstoppable selves. Because let's be real, the most powerful thing any woman can wear is confidence. I'm Tina Spoletini, your host with the Divas That Care Network, and I will bring you real stories from women who reclaimed their voice, embraced their worth, and are lighting the way for all of us. Ready to bloom into your best self? Let's dive in. Today I'm chatting with Kat Mitchell. Kat is a master life coach, certified NLP practitioner, and certified hypnotherapist who guides women leaders through powerful mindset shifts and emotional breakthroughs. With a deeply intuitive yet practical approach, Kat helps high-achieving women release self-doubt, imposter patterns, and the hidden stories that keep them playing small. Her signature style blends neuroscience, NLP, hypnotherapy, and heart-centered coaching to create deep inner alignment and authentic outer confidence. Well, welcome again, Kat. You were here, I believe, 2023. I don't remember the date, but we did chat before, and I am so looking forward to today.
It was on the phone. That's how long ago it was.
It was
on the phone. It wasn't even on Zoom.
No. And now, I mean, we're totally different, right? We're not doing just talking Kat and her confidence. We're talking Kat and her confidence and how she runs her business. So we're gonna dive into this conversation. I'm really looking forward to it. So the first thing I want to know from you, so we're talking Boss Babe Summer and up-leveling, our business and our life. So the first thing I want to know from you, what is your word of the summer, and do you have one?
It might be a string of words of get my butt in gear. And I don't know if I know it's not just me, but a lot of times we hit that wall and it's like, oh, I don't know which path I need to take, what that next step forward is. And lately I've been like, bold action. It's like, let's just step in, let's take the action, let's just do it. And then if we stumble, then we'll figure it out.
Right. And that's what we call right.
Yeah. So now it's more of, I guess my word is bold action and visibility. That's my phrase.
Yeah, I love that. Bold. That is actually really awesome, because I think, like you said, we have to put our, nose to the grind, right? But it's still summertime, right? Like, it's still the summer, and now is a time to sort of maybe, have fun with all the different ideas that can come up, right? Oh, that would be great for the fall. Oh, I could do that in the spring. Like, now is a good time to come up with all the fun and enticing ideas, right? I mean, they say that, summertime is the time to party and enjoy life. So, we need to do that while we're coming up with all these cool ideas. Now tell me, you're in Florida. No, you're in California.
I'm in California.
Right. So are you close to a beach?
No.
No. So you wouldn't have a beach read unless you go to the beach on the weekends.
No, I'm leaving the country next week for a little bit and going on a retreat. And I think there's some beach in there somewhere. So that's good. And to what you said, I would say that the fun and the joy and this the reflection and all of that isn't just summer. It's building that in continuously. Because if we wait until summer, then by the time we get to summer, we're like, oh, I just want to nap all summer long.
Well, this is very true. That's part of our routine, right? Rest and reflection has to be in our daily routine for sure. But I find that in the summertime, nobody wants to sit in the office all day, right? Like I noticed yesterday and the day before here in Edmonton, the weather was just beautiful. And I was like looking out my window going, what am I doing in here? Right. And so I packed up my computer and I went and sat, well, I went for lunch with a friend and we sat outside. I didn't open my computer because I'm, socializing, but I had my computer because I thought just in case I get there a little bit early, right? I can do a little bit, right? And so I find that's what I do over the summer. Like I sort of squeeze in, as much of the fun as I can because we still got to work. We still, you can't just stop working, right? But I find in the summertime, it's easier to take a little, an extra hour here and there, right? And then in the wintertime, when you don't want to be outside as much, then you're like, okay, I'll just work, right? I love that. So do you read? I mean, is that part of your routine? Are you reading anything like right now that's, maybe for your business or just for, recreation? Do you have a favorite?
I I have the list of many books that I I would say I'm probably in the middle of a few books. Um because I get intrigued when people are like, this book would be really good for you to read right now. No, don't give me another book. Or, we talked about we talked about Jen and how real she is. And I have a few of those mentors that are like that from, that come from different spaces, different coaching paths. And they're like, oh, the book that got me, to take more action is this one. I'm like, all right, I'll just add it to my list.
Right. I have an extremely long list. But what I started doing, so I listen to Audible, and when I'm talking
Yeah.
with someone and they, at the time that they suggest, oh, you got to read this book, I write it down, and as soon as my visit with them is over, I go on my phone and I download that read because I know if I don't do it right now, it's not going to happen. And now it's on my phone. That doesn't mean I'm going to read it right away, but it's on my list, right? So it's like, okay, I finished that book. What's next? And then I just pick one. So eventually I will get to it. And I joined a book club, and this is really strange for me. So I joined it on Friday. So that was July 4th. And on July 28th, we're having a book club meeting, right? And I have to read this book. Well, this book is See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar, right? Now, I don't know if you have read this book, but it's super fine print. Like I opened it up this morning and I was like, oh no, I won't have this done by the 28th. Like there's just no way, right? With everything else on top, but I will do the best I can. Right? Because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get that. Like, like Mel Robbins books, they're easy reads, right? You could read them in a week, but this one is not that easy. Anyway, let's talk about Boss Babe Summer. What does Boss Babe Summer look like for you this year?
I think Boss Babe Summer resonates with my bold action and visibility and, really stepping in and taking risks and really being more bold in who I want to be.
Love that.
And shedding the old skins of, or the old identities of I sat in corporate. I used to sit behind a computer. I used to just do the thing that they said to do to get it done to, make them look good. And now it's like, wait, we gotta do that for, my business. And we gotta get out there and really speak about who I am and how I can, really help others on their journeys. So it's really that blend of who I am and what I bring to the table and, really leading life in a different way.
I love that. And so now I know that you have many new coaching strategies and tools that you're teaching others and your clients. Um, so are you finding that this is going to be the time for you to sort of put that all together in packages, or have you already done that and now you're promoting the packages?
So yes and no. Um, I have I have some things that we talk about, stepping in and then all of a sudden it's like that didn't work so well. So I have workshops that I have been experimenting with. Well, my experimentation in some levels didn't quite work as well. And a lot of that was when you are taking different actions and experimenting. And I've become more, I guess, more risky in my experimentation of business. It's like, well, let me get out to Eventbrite and play in that land. And let me get out here and play in that land and see who I can meet and all of that. Well, some mistakes. I had a whole bunch of people sign up for a workshop, and it's like, oh, yeah, they weren't getting my direct communication. They were only focused on the Eventbrite communication, which didn't have all the information. And yes.
Oh, well, that's part of the learning, right? I mean, yeah, I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. And then now you have to learn how to navigate that.
So I'm so yeah, earlier in the summer, last month, I learned that, I had 30 people sign up for a workshop and only 3 showed up because, there was a communication gap that I didn't know about. And now it's, building those relationships and helping, really getting to know all these tools that I'm working with and understanding where my flaws and lack of understanding is so I can build that understanding. So yeah, those are the things that we have to step into and go, oh yeah, let me just think about that and let me
Because it's not, yeah, because it's
wrap
not
my brain around
easy.
it.
Yeah, it's not always as easy as it sounds, right? There's other things involved that you don't consider if you've never done it before. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yes. Well, I mean, you learn about yourself and how to use the systems, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Yeah. So, how are you using this season of summer and Boss Babe to recharge and refocus?
I'm using this summer. I love Boss Babe. I think I want to get a tattoo. Kidding. Um, and I'm using the summer to really look at what's working, really do a deep reflection of what's working, what really speaks to my current clients, and what words or phrases or um, you know, even in social media land, what things do I say that create um create that interest so I can really, figure out what I want my vision to look like. It's like really stepping back and pulling back the curtain and going, let's see how we can, take this in a way, take this journey or, create this journey that speaks to my heart, isn't in this have to land, speaks to my heart and allows me to continue my journey of growth and development and passion for who I am and where I want to go. And also, helps me help my clients in bigger, bolder ways so they can be on their journey and expand on their own path of experimentation and life and reflection.
I
So
love that.
it's this
Almost, yeah,
whole, yeah, this whole pulling back the curtain and seeing what's possible.
yeah, I love that. And it makes me think like every year is different, right? Every year in
Mhm.
our own business is different. And we have the control to expand that or shrink it if we need to. Like if we know it's going to be a heavy year, say in our personal lives, we have that ability to look at, I mean, we know what, I mean, we don't know everything, but sometimes stuff is coming up, right? And so you can look at that and go, okay, so this year, I need to sort of scale back on the hours I put into my business. What can I do so that it doesn't affect maybe the income or the revenues and all the things without my time, right? Or I got nothing coming, right? Everything that was supposed to happen has happened, and now I can be in the business a little bit more. So yeah, I love that. I love the whole pull back the curtain concept, right? Because then you can look at everything as much as we can know, right? Because life has the tendency of showing up when we don't expect it. So I love that. Now we kind of talked about mentors earlier, and then I just want to know, like, do you have like a boss babe role model?
Well, I kind of think of Jen as a boss babe role model because it's like, oh, I want to be like her. And then,
Me too.
there's a few of them. I think Joey. Joey's a
Yes, Joey Flessner, absolutely. I love her too. Yes.
yeah, Katarina Rando. There's things that
There's
she
many.
does that
Yeah.
are very boss babish. And then another gal that I'm in one of her groups. Uh, uh, why am I not Amanda Kaufman? So I don't know if you know
I don't
her.
know
I
her.
met Yeah, I met her when I was in Dallas recently with Elaine Williams, and I was doing like a photo shoot, and I was getting that's another place where I had to get out of my comfort zone and go, all right, let's just do it. Is Elaine Williams is like a videographer, and total let's get that camera in your face and let's just do it. And
Wow.
so in 3 days time we recorded 30 videos. Talk about out of my comfort zone. I'm like, and all like in public. It's like walking
Mm.
through a park. Let's sit here and let's record a video. And there's people walking by. I'm like, all right, what are we talking about now?
What? But that is like the way to get you out of that comfort zone, just to expand that just a little bit more. That's great. I don't have the guts for that. I think I need her. Now I
Oh
want
my
to know,
gosh.
I love routines. I love, knowing about routines. I like creating new routines. I want to know what your summer morning routine is. If you could summarize it in 3 words, what would you say?
Coffee, reflection, and it's like coffee, food, and reflection because I'm a foodie. I am not one. People are like, it's in the morning. Oh no. I
You
wake
need
up,
food.
my belly's like, hello, I'm hungry now. I've been sleeping.
Good for you.
Give me food. So food, coffee, reflection.
I love that. I love that. And it's funny that like not all women are quick to admit that, right? Most women are like, give me coffee, right? And then I do a little bit of exercise, I do a little bit of this, and then food seems to be last on the list. No one wants to admit it, but yeah, you're right, right? If you're hungry, you need to eat. Your body is telling you something. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I need to eat.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we all do, right? We all do. Yeah. Is there a move that you're making for like during the summer to set yourself up for a stronger fall?
Um, One, for a stronger fall, it's really making sure I take time for me. It's also making sure that I take all the actions. So I made that bold, scary move of bringing on assistants to help me with some of the things that I don't always take the time to do. It's like I can do it, and I don't always take the time to do. Like social media. It's like, you know, if it's up to me to post everywhere in social media, then I sometimes get busy on the scroll. It's like, well, let's see what everybody
Oh,
else. And then when I get into scroll land, it's like I don't get anything done.
and your
So
posting might get missed. Yeah, I can relate with that 100%.
so it's really setting myself up by having somebody else handle the stuff that distracts me and doesn't keep me focused on the actions that are really going to help me move forward. So it's and that's a whole new path of communication also. So it's really learning how to communicate with somebody else what the vision is, what the language is, what you know, the direction and the path that of the journey that I'm on right now, to have them take it and run with it, and then letting go of control and letting them do it.
Oh, I love.
So yeah. So it's really, stepping into that, all right, I can't be 100% in control. So it's like, how can we, let go of that slice and know that they've got it, that trust, you know, of somebody else taking on that responsibility so I can put more focus on my clients, having those conversations, really being present, because presence is so powerful. And so that's what I'm focused on this summer is like, what are those things that I can let go of? What are those things that don't need my full on attention, so I can put my attention in the places that make the most sense and build those connections in that path forward that really speaks to me and
I
serves
love.
others.
I love that. And so tell me, what is one habit that you either have created or are continuing with that keeps that possible for you?
It's really noting down where it's tracking my strengths and weaknesses to determine where I either need to build my strengths or where it's better to let those weaknesses go to somebody else that is stronger in it. So like Canva, not exactly a strength for me. And can hit a few frustration buttons like, all right, we got to let that one go. We got to let somebody else handle that one. It's like, that is not the creativity path for me. There's another creativity path somewhere else, because it's really looking at, and I think, well, if you're part of GU, you, you know the language of energy. It's like, what are those things that raise my energy? And what are those things that are like, ooh, that was an energy drain, and we need to find
Right.
another path for that one because it's not going to work if my energy goes this way and then goes straight down this way.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't, you can't connect with others if your energy is constantly tanking.
Right. But you also need to be aware of what energy vibe you're holding, right? And some of us are not totally in tuned with that. And I've noticed that in myself, right? That sometimes I'm like, I come to a meeting and I don't know where my headspace is, right? I'm like, I'm just coming because it's on my calendar, right? And so that's something that I've had to like actually like look at and say, why are you doing this? Because being on your calendar is you're being busy, yes, but you're not being productive, right? You need to have intentions, right? And I think that's where, I think that's where we need to go, right? Like we need to
Yeah.
know what we're doing, why we're doing it. right? And so, yeah, that really resonates with me as well. So if you were to give, your fellow female entrepreneurs, um, like some kind of advice or, pointers for the summer, what would that be?
Well, to what you just said, one thing I started doing with my calendar when, I am looking at my calendar and I see an appointment on there. If it's a client appointment, then those are the
You
ones
know
that
what you're
are,
doing. Yeah, those you
yeah,
have.
I know what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if there's a class or a program or something that has landed on my calendar, it's not, uh, it's not going to kill me to miss it. And my energy and my headspace are not in the proper space. Or sometimes, my calendar has two or three things, and I'm like, all right, which one is actually going to feed me, versus which one is going to deplete me? Yes, it might have information. Yes, it might not have a recording. It's really looking at and questioning within which one makes the most sense for moving forward. Or is it just on there because somebody else said, oh, yeah, that was the class I wanted? And really, it's really going inside versus paying more attention to the external forces.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that
100%.
internal
Yeah. I love, yeah.
resonation versus
Yeah.
external, unknown.
Yeah, exactly. And having intention, right? Like having, the knowledge of this is going to bring me forward, or it's just going to be more knowledge to add to my brain, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we can't unknow what we already know, right? There's always room to know more, but is it going to bring me forward is often, what has to bring you there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like right now, I'm doing a training on understanding the power of Facebook groups because I know one of my weaknesses is that building of relationships in social land. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's really understanding, that's one of my challenges for myself this summer is how do I build those social connections and understand the building of relationships and not, that yes, I connected. Bye now.
Right.
That
It's not
one
just
and
a matter of like, let's be friends and we'll see you around. Right. It's more like, let's be friends, let's connect often, and let's get to know each other. Like we are in the same world. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah.
done. That's my challenge for myself this summer is really understanding that building of relationships and not the look, I have 500 plus friends. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I love that actually. Yeah, that's like super like it's actually really super important because now with, the virtual world, we have connections all over the world, right?
Yeah.
And you can have an actual relationship with these people. You don't have to be in the same room, right? And every relationship, just like in person, is different,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah. I understand that 100%. Yeah. So tell me, what would you tell your fellow female entrepreneur friends?
Keep taking action, keep moving forward, keep learning, and continue to shine your light and be bold and brilliant.
I love it. I love it. Now, last question for today. Fast forward to the end of summer 2025. What would make you say, yes, I did it, I leveled up?
I would have my Facebook group rebooted and thriving. And uh, I will be evolving.
Love
Uh,
it. I love it. I wish you so much luck. And I know that I'm going to see you in the Genius Unlocked community because I belong there too. That has been like amazing for me. And I know that there's so much more to come for both of us. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you, Tina. This has been fabulous.
Yes, it has been. Thanks for listening to Confidence in Bloom, where we celebrate the amazing, brilliant, and beautiful woman you already are. You don't have to look like a movie star or a supermodel. Spoiler, they don't even look like that. You are enough, worthy of unconditional love, especially from yourself. We pour love out to everyone around us, so it's time to give that same love to you. If you're ready to step into your power and boost your confidence, I'm offering personalized coaching, 3 focus sessions designed to help you build your confidence, define your personal brand, and start creating your own signature style. Remember, she comes in every shape and size, and the most important thing to believe in, yourself. Want to be a guest here on Confidence in Bloom? Reach out to me on Instagram at infobloomstyling, email tina@infobloomstyling.com, or visit the Divas That Care Network website. Until next time, keep blooming confidently.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.